All right, as you guys know, I've made a vow to start doing some more non-Jordan stuff and even some ultra modern type stuff. This is a video on the world famous case hit Downtown or from Downtown, depending on the year. This is a product that started way back in 2016 and it's continued year to year until today. It did switch products, much like the Kaboom product in the video that you may have seen last week. So this is the second case hit I decided to do. We're going to move from here and do Blank Slate and Color Blast and Aurora and stuff like that because honestly, I just want to learn more about these things, and I know they're very popular in the hobby, and I want to kind of dig in and figure out just how rare are they, how valuable are they, and why they're so popular. So today's video is going to be about the Downtown case hit insert from Studio, Cornerstones, and Panini One-and-One. Those are the three products that this insert emanates from. Hopefully you guys enjoy this educational video and I can keep it at least a little bit entertaining. We'll look at the highest selling Downtowns each year, and so that's, you know, at least a little bit exciting. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Pardon this brief interruption. I just wanted the folks that are watching to know that the Michael Jordan hierarchy posters are still available. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out the Michael Jordan hierarchy playlist on this very channel. You won't be disappointed. These posters are incredible. Over 400 have been sold. Here is an image of what the front of that poster looks like. It's branded, it's high definition, it's glossy. It's got images of well over 300 of Michael Jordan's best cards separated into tiers. Many people are using this as sort of a guideline, sort of a checklist on how they want to collect Michael Jordan basketball cards. And on the back of the poster, maybe the best kept secret, is one of the largest Michael Jordan pack odds lists in the entire world. Guys, the posters are available, over 400 sold. I have plenty of them in inventory. All of the details on how you can order these posters are included in the YouTube description to this and every video that you see on the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. Downtowns, we're talking about those today. It started, as I mentioned in the introduction, back in 2016. I'm going to screen share here. I've got my handy dandy trusty tcdb.com pulled up. That is trading card database for you guys who are new. It is a fantastic almanac, a wealth of information. If you're ever trying to learn more about a card, a set, an insert, a parallel, anything like that, pack odds, any of that stuff, what a card looks like, trading card database is almost always the very first place that I go. So as mentioned, Panini Studio. I don't know if some of you guys are so new to the hobby, you may not have ever even heard of Panini Studio. Some of you guys may have been in the hobby forever and still never have heard of Studio. It wasn't really a big smashing hit. The one thing that it did bring to our fantastic basketball card collecting hobby is the Downtown insert. This is the inaugural year. I've got it clicked right here. Now you will notice on my checklist here on Trading Card Database, you're going to see something called Downtown Bound. Totally different. This is an insert. Downtown Bound was an insert that was found in one of my favorite sets of all time, the original, the inaugural 2012 Prism basketball set. And so that was this whole separate deal. This is not the case hit Downtown that people are falling in love with today. But those Downtown Bounds from 2012 Prism are also very rare, very valuable. And then, of course, there's silver, gold, and green parallels of those as well. But we're talking about this 2016. First thing I want to draw your attention to is just how bad. You know, we do videos on this channel all the time where we look at insert sets from back in the 90s, right? And I try to identify the imposters, right? We call them imposters. Well, there may be no bigger imposter in the history of an insert set than in this first year of Panini Studio. Again, I give credit to Skybox, Fleer, Donruss, Upper Deck, all these cats. They finally, they usually do a, 80 to 90% job of identifying the dudes that are going to end up being relevant, right? Because insert sets, you don't have a checklist of 100. You usually insert sets, and from what I've noticed, Downtown is always 20 players, always 20, not more, not less. Every single year, we'll look at that, we'll double check it. But they usually do an 80, 90% chance of identifying people, right? Back in the 90s, every once in a while, you'll see, I'm trying to think of somebody, maybe I don't know. I can't think of anybody offhand. Like Mookie Blaylock will sneak into an insert set, instead of Stockton or something like that, right? Well, look at the miss from the first year of Studio. I'm bringing it on your screen. Yogi Ferrell, Indiana Hoosier legend. Yogi Ferrell was one of the 20 players that they chose to put in the first year insert set. So if you're looking to collect a set, you're going to have to find a Yogi Ferrell downtown insert to go with it. Other than that, it is an absolute who's who of absolute monsters. Of course, Ben Simmons at the time was a damn animal, and this would be a rookie Ben Simmons from 2016. But Steph Curry, Harden, Towns, Yogi Ferrell, Westbrook, Lillard, James, Butler, Porzingis, Ben Simmons, Isaiah Thomas, the little one, who was an absolute phenom at the time. Remember, he was at the peak of his game. He was in the MVP conversation, having an incredible season for the Celtics out of nowhere, came over from the Kings. Kyrie Irving, of course, a hip injury derailed his career horrifically, and I really like that guy. Irving, Durant, Booker, Wiggins, that's a miss for sure. But at the time, remember, this is right after his rookie season. Dirk Nowitzki, J.J. Redick was included in the insert set. That's cool. That's not a miss like a Yogi Ferrell miss, but it's a miss. But it is cool because J.J. Redick is so popular now, of course, the coach of the star-studded Los Angeles Lakers. Kobe Bryant, they even went and threw into antiquated old fossils. Gary the Glove Payton downtown right there, and Allen Iverson in that first year. I love the look of these first-year downtowns. If you ask me to choose between downtowns and Kabooms, I'm choosing downtowns all day long. Aesthetically, it's a little bit less cartoony. It's got the theme of their city in the background, the city that they're repping, right? Every single one of these cards. Of course, Durant, you got to guess because he's played on 12 teams, but you're always going to see the city stuff in the background. Maybe it's the Capitol building. Maybe it's a particular flower. Maybe it's an animal that represents the city or something like that. Like right for Cleveland, for LeBron James in the background, you see Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the background, a Best Western. No, I'm just kidding. NBA champion. It's got the the guitars for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They started to do a little bit more flamboyant, ostentatious stuff after the first year. But first year, 20 cards downtown. That is what that looks. That remember came from Studio, and we'll look at the highest selling card from that set of all time, and it's none other than Kobe Bean Bryant, the Black Mamba himself. This BGS 10 first year Studio downtown from Kobe is a pop 37 in BGS 10. These things must have graded phenomenal. Oh my God, these cards were made by some perfectionists, some jewelers. 80% gem rate for PSA, 91% gem rate for Beckett. You're doing something wrong if you don't have a gem. That's insane. I don't think I've ever seen a gem rate like that. SGC's graded 2. Both of them came out PSA SGC 10. You're even talking about 1 black label and 37 pristine BGS 10s. These things must be built with intentions. So anyway, that Kobe sold for I got it wrong. That Kobe sold for $6,900. It certainly would have sold for more. The problem is they all graded so well. It's still a very low total number graded. Check it out. Not as rare as Kabooms from what I recall, but 227 total graded between the grading companies. PSA and BGS is more like 212, something like that. But that Kobe is the highest selling. The one interesting thing is, I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. Every year we go through this, the highest selling downtown insert from that particular year is a different player. So we're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of downtowns. The highest selling downtown from each of those 8 years, 8 different players are the record holder for the highest selling price. Okay, that was 2016. It was Studio. The next year, the very next year, this is a product that I really liked. It was impossible to grade. It was sort of in that mezzanine level. It wasn't flawless. It wasn't National Treasures. It wasn't even immaculate. It was sort of in that noir, impeccable kind of range, and it was called Panini Cornerstones. I liked the cards personally. I thought they were interesting. I liked the cards. They became the host of the downtown insert. And this is what they looked like. I've got the LeBron pulled up so you can see it. You'll see it's got the Cornerstone symbol. That was the symbol for the Cornerstone product that year. And there's your LeBron. Again, it's got a guitar in the background. And as you can see, they started to add more things in the background. There's some other building. There's some other like statue or monument or something like that. So Cornerstones is where it was the second year. Just like in the first year, though, there were 20 of them in here. Luckily, there's a Josh Jackson in here as well. But this is 2017. So what does that mean? Well, that means it's De'Aaron De'Aaron Fox's rookie card. That means it's Lonzo Ball's rookie card. That means they got Reggie Miller in here. So they went ahead and just like they had Peyton and Iverson the year before, they threw in some legends, right? Threw in Reggie Miller. You got Shaq in here, okay? So that's a cool thing. First appearance of Shaq on a downtown card. You got a Tatum rookie, a Donovan Mitchell rookie, a Josh Jackson rookie, Markelle Fultz rookie, Dennis Smith Jr. rookie. Remember him? Yeah, he had big plans right out of NC State. He was going to be a stud. I lost a few bucks on Dennis Smith Jr. Hand held high. I didn't know he was never going to learn how to shoot. Shit. So 20 more from that year. What is the highest selling player from the second year downtowns, which came from Cornerstones, first year of Cornerstones? Well, it's none other than Jason Tatum. You knew it was going to be one of the rookies. Why don't we go with the rookie that's been the most successful to date? I guess there's an argument to be made that Donovan Mitchell should be in the conversation, but Tatum's got the ring and Donovan doesn't. Spider might get one this year. Who knows? We'll see. This Tatum right here sold for $8,300. I've got the second highest selling ever one highlighted. A, because it's a better picture, and B, because it's got a little link down here to the pop report so you guys can see. Again, let's keep the theme going of grading at 76% gem rate and 82%. What the hell is it with these downtowns that they grade so high? Check this out. There's only been 132 graded of this Jason Tatum, so it's almost like maybe the print run is lower. I'll let somebody else do the research on that and chime in the comments below. I can't, go backwards and do reverse math and kind of calculate or demystify whatever the print run was. I don't know, but it seems like fewer were printed in this Cornerstones product than were in the Studio product from the year before. Only 132 Tatums have been graded, and there's your gems right there. Almost 100 gems between PSA and BGS, but 8,300. So we saw this Kobe sold for $6,900. The Tatum rookie sold for $8,300, $6,600. In fact, Tatum is the four highest, 83, 66, 6, and 5,000. So Tatum wins the day on that one. So Kobe year one, Tatum year two. What about the next year? We got Cornerstones again. That's 2018 Cornerstones. Again, you're going to talk about probably 20 cards in there from what I recall. Yeah, we're in. Yep. 20 cards. Kevin Knox, Wendell Carter Jr., Colin Sexton. Those are your imposters. Every once in a while, what did we say? They're going to sprinkle in a legend. Well, they sprinkled in the great Charles Barkley in his Phoenix garb, okay? So not Sixers, but Phoenix. You got some kind of weird, creepy cartoon cat right there. It looks like Snarf from Thundercats. Give me a shout out. Give me a little credit if you guys remember Snarf from Thundercats. If you're 50 years old, you better remember Thundercats. Lion-O and those cats, those guys were big time. And then we got a coyote up here snarling, sneaking around in the background, cactuses. So clearly a Phoenix type theme right there on the Barkley. These are really good looking. Again, it continues to have the Cornerstones emblem in the top right because it came from Cornerstones. Duncan's in there, Kobe's in there. Of course, he was still playing back then. And this would be important for what reason, right? Doncic and Trae Young. Of course, then we thought Ayton as well, but Doncic and Trae Young. And you guys can see they kept Ben Simmons in there. Why? Because he was still a stud, right? This was before Ben Simmons decided, he was going to have a sex change. So here we go. We got the highest selling ever is Luka Doncic, Cornerstones 2018, PSA 10, $15,250. A little different type number, right? That's double the Tatum almost. It's double that Kobe. So this is where it goes to a whole nother level. And this is, I think, one of the, for lack of a better word, most flamboyant looking cards I have ever seen. It is a Pop 52. What about the gem percentage? Oh my God, it's 80% and 85%. So once again, we're seeing these things indestructible, beautiful. The surface must be impervious to damage. Incredible right there. So that is another year of Cornerstones. What about 2019? Is it going to be a rookie? So we've seen 3 years of downtowns. We've seen 3 different people at the top. What about 2019? Well, you know what 2019 was. Everything that was crazy about Doncic, the thing continued with John Morant and Zion. And, of course, again, you'll see Ben Simmons still in here. RJ Barrett's in here. Tyler Hero's in here. A little bit more emphasis on rookies. Kobe White's in here. First appearance of Nikola Jokic, I think. If I'm not mistaken, Luka Doncic has a second-year Cornerstones. Good call there by Panini. There's your John Morant. Rui Hachimura, we weren't sure. He was 28 years old as a rookie, but we didn't know. Kendrick Nunn, he's going to end up being up there in that Yogi Ferrell category. At least he had a little cup of coffee in the NBA and was decent. Probably Kendrick Nunn versus Yogi Ferrell is probably a one-on-one matchup I don't want to see, but there is a Kendrick Nunn. So if you're looking to put together the 2019 Cornerstones Downtown set, you're going to have to buy a Kendrick Nunn card somewhere, which probably goes against everything you stand for in the hobby. Guess what? No surprise here. Not even close, right? Zion Williamson, far and away the most valuable card, and that card was a $12,100 sale in 2021. This is just going to be a perfect storm of hobby insanity and, you know, no logic whatsoever. So Zion, 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 Zion. You can kind of figure it out from there. There's 43 of them. What about the gem rate and how many were graded? 74. Only 74 have been graded. It seems like the print run is shrinking. Am I crazy? It seems like the print run is shrinking, or at least based on the total number of graded. 80% gem rate, 89% gem rate. So more chaos when it comes to gem rates. Just these things just really, really grade very, very well. And so Cornerstones, and that was it for Cornerstones. So 1 year of Studio, 3 years of Cornerstones, and then what? We're on to, I'm going to skip the draft picks because I don't care about the college stuff. I want licensed NBA stuff, right? Like everybody else. We're going to skip over to Panini One-and-One, who will take it and ride it out for the duration, or at least up until the present time. So 2020 was the first year that Panini One-and-One had it, and the LeBron card is the one we got to look at. How cool is that? He's in LA now. He's got an old LA 57 Chevy or whatever the hell that is behind him. Palm trees, surfboard. They're on the beach, and there's your LA theme in the background. Of course, the C symbol for Cornerstones has been replaced by the Panini One-and-One up here in the top left. This was meant to be an extremely elegant, high-end product. From what I recall, there are only 2 cards in the pack, 1-and-1, right? And I think one of them was a base or something like that, and one of them was either an insert or an autograph or a memorabilia or whatever. And so that's sort of how these things popped out. And again, 20 cards in the insert set. Again, right here, who's the imposter? Well, it's James Wiseman, clearly, right? Although we can't close the book on him quite yet, but probably going to be James Wiseman if I had to guess. Anthony Edwards is in here. LaMelo Ball is in here. You're talking about some big-time rookies. Zion makes an appearance as a second-year card. So what's the highest-selling one from the first year that the downtown insert came out of Panini One-and-One? Well, it's LaMelo Ball. It's not even graded. This is how they came in those cases, right? It was just 2 cards. They came in these encapsulated cases with the Panini One-and-One seal here at the top. In fact, a PSA 10 version sold about a month later for $13,000. So the raw one that sold first sold for $15,000. And then a PSA 10 copy of the same card sold for $13,000. That's a huge number. Card Ladder thinks this $15,000 card from 2021 is worth about $1,800 today. Card Ladder thinks the PSA 10 is worth about $3,700 today. What about the gem rate? We got to look at that, right, to see if it continues. It does, 73% and 89%. So just more chaos on that gem grading. It's just really, really sturdy, really solid. Now we're moving. Here it is. We go back to Panini Prism, and Panini Prism brings back that insert from 2012 called Downtown Bound. We're going to skip all of those. You're going to see Downtown Bound Fast Break, Black, Gold, Hyper, Mojo, Silver. None of that applies to us. Those are totally different. In fact, I'll just show you the cards just so you can understand it. No cartoony features at all. Totally different. No downtown theme, no city-based theme, nothing. Just completely different looking cards. Not the same deal that we were looking at. We're looking for the next one, and it stays with, and these are printing plates right here from 2020, Panini One-and-One. They've got the black cyan or cyan, I don't know how to say that as I don't speak French, magenta and yellow. So there's printing plates. We're skipping that. We just want to look at the insert set. 2021 is where we're going, right, for the next one. And here we go. We got 20 again, right? No surprise there. Jalen Suggs, Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, Giddey, Kuminga. A lot of rookies in this one. I don't see any throwbacks in this one, so I don't see any Kobe's or guys that are retired that are no longer playing. But 2021, these are really good looking cards. Here's what the LeBron looks like for those of you interested. Again, still surfboards, still beach, still downtown. You got a sunset in the background, and then I don't know what this is, some kind of mosque up here from the Middle East. I don't know what's happening up there. Somebody from LA can kind of translate that for me. And so what is the highest selling one? We saw Zion was the highest selling one in 2019. In 2020, we talked about it. It was LaMelo, but it was the raw copy. 2021, no surprise, Cade Cunningham, who is turning out to be an absolute behemoth of a prospect, a phenom, a franchise player. And this is a really good, clean looking card. I love his demeanor. I love his game. I love his, prototypical super size for his position. 3,500 is what Card Ladder thinks it's worth today, and this was a recent sale on March 2nd. So this was 3 days ago from the day I'm recording this video. It'll be a couple weeks from the day that you see the video, but it looks like these are sales as well. It looks like somebody paid. I can't tell because there's no picture, but this looks like just a card. You don't want to make a mistake. Like this one says case hit sealed. Case hit sealed. This is 1-and-1. Okay, so it looks like these are all sales. We just don't have pictures. So this thing right here sold in, this is going to be in raw form for $12,900. That's probably not a great investment. That's why you don't want to buy products right when they come out the gate unless you're absolutely super desperate to grab them. Anyway, that's 2021. 2022 Panini, it stays with 1-and-1. The downtowns take a little bit of a turn. I don't have any pictures here. I do. I have a picture only of the Jabari Smith. And there's Jabari with the Houston Space Center in the background, a couple of alien robot looking things, some Jetson sort of themes. It's a little too far with the space theme, but it is what it is. Good looking card nonetheless. It's got the 1-and-1 symbol in the top left. I'm not sure why that's the only image that they have up there. Jalen Williams in there, Shaden Sharp's in there, Mathurin, Ivy, Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith, Paolo, and Chet. Well, I think we can figure out who the highest selling from that year is going to be. It's going to be the gigantic 7'4" skeleton Chet Holmgren. There's his card, and that bad boy sold for $5,100. How many of these have been graded? I'm curious. There's 33 PSA 10s. Shout out to Scottie Pippen. That's a really high gem rate still, by the way, 66%. So 2 out of 3 chance that you're going to get a gem. 5,100. Paolo Banchero also sold for $45.44. It's a pretty close second right there. He's obviously turned into be a can't miss type prospect. We'll see how good his shot develops. 75 total graded, 67% gem rate, 100% with BGS, right? 4 for 4 on the BGS 9.5. That's 2022. And then the last year we're going to look at is going to be 23, 24. I don't have the full checklist. I'm not sure why, but Trading Card Database doesn't have it. But you guys know who's going to be the highest selling card from 2023, 2024, right? It's going to be none other than the great Victor Wembanyama. Get well soon, Victor. There's the card. Alamo in the background. At least I think that's the Alamo. I'm not a history buff. Got a bunch of cactuses representing the city of San Antonio. I don't think the Alamo is in downtown, but nevertheless, downtown, I get it, whatever. The thing you want to pay attention to on this is look who the seller is, Murozond. This is a known habitual shiller on eBay. One of the reasons I like to use Fanatics Collect and even Golden and some of these other auction houses is because eBay doesn't do anything about known shillers if they do enough business with them. So look at the 4 highest sales. Look who the seller is. Murozond, Metaverse Cards, Murozond, Toll Card World, another shiller, right? Metaverse, Toll, another shiller, Toll again, Murozond, Toll again. This makes you Murozond, Toll, Murozond, Toll. Seems a little suspicious. It seems a little suspicious considering this is a case hit. We know there's, probably a couple hundred of these printed, and these cats have got like 20 of the top 25 sales. Would that concern you? It concerns me. So I'd be real careful with this. It also makes you wonder, are they printing counterfeit copies? Or are they just shilling their cards and then they're not paid and then they just relist the card? Unfortunately, because it's in a sealed case and doesn't have a certain number, you can't tell, right? You would need them to be PSA graded or BGS graded, so there's a certain number to even be able to tell. What is this thing? I don't even know what that is. It looks like maybe there's some type of variation as well. That is a completely different card than this. I don't know what's going on there, but check that out. There's apparently a variation of some sort. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with those shenanigans, the monkey business, the hijinks, but I would be very close, very, very cautious if you're buying the cards. And I know everybody wants the Victor, but just kind of tread carefully. But that's it, guys. So in a nutshell, you know, I've got it pulled up here. Let's go through it again. These downtowns came around the same time as Kabooms back in 2016 in a product called Studio. Then they moved into Cornerstones for 3 years. Then in 2020, they jumped over to in 2019, they jumped to Panini One-and-One, and they've been in Panini One-and-One ever since. Now we've learned something about these downtowns. I like the look of them, man. I like the idea of maybe collecting them as a set. I think they're really cool looking. I think they have a nice theme for the city that the player is playing for. I think that's cool. I like the idea that it's a mix of rookies, it's a mix of the biggest stars in the NBA, and it's a mix of every once in a while, or at least it used to be, they'll throw a random iconic player in there who is retired and is, you know, quite likely a Hall of Famer, notwithstanding Yogi Ferrell. That's it, guys. There's your educational video on the downtowns. Let me know what you think. Downtowns or Kabooms? Where you guys stand? I mean, I think I know, you know, the consensus in the hobby is Kabooms over everything, but I'll be honest with you, I like the downtowns more. That's just me. I'm not saying they should be worth more. I mean, they may be. It looks like there's a few more downtowns printed than Kabooms. Maybe somebody who knows a little bit about both can comment below and make sure that that assessment is correct. But it seems like Kabooms are a little more rare than downtowns, and they all come from different products, so that probably plays into this as well. Remember the product, the base product that the insert comes from oftentimes does help or hurt drive the price of the insert card itself. Let me know what you think about Panini One-and-One. I mean, think about this. One-and-One, Cornerstones, and Studio. Nobody's really looking for those cards other than for purposes of pulling one of these downtowns. Nobody's really out there. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody. There's not a large segment of the hobby that's out there just like dying to get the rookie Cornerstones De'Aaron Fox card or Jason Tatum card or Markelle Fultz or whatever, right? It's not like Prism, Optic, National Treasures, Flawless. Not like that, right? So they're looking in those products only for the downtowns. The downtown is what's propping up the sales of those boxes and cases for Panini. So kudos to Panini, I guess, for running their business and making sure they put something in there that people wanted. So thank you guys again for watching this little educational and hopefully a little bit entertaining video on downtowns. I may have gotten something wrong. I put this thing together pretty damn quick because I really just wanted to get a nice general cursory understanding of these inserts from these case hits from the Ultra Modern. We'll do blank slates or Aurora or something like that coming up next. If there's another insert that you think I should include in here, you know, we'll do 5, 6, 7, something like that, videos once a week, and we'll kind of work our way through it. If there's one that I haven't mentioned that you think needs some attention, let me know, and I may or may not include it in the rotation. Thank you guys as always for watching. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.